To the parliamentary precinct now. Nompu Siziba is standing by with another guest. Nompu.
Thanks very much, Desiree. Yes, I am joined by Mzwanele Nyhontso. He's from the PAC to give us his thoughts on what we can expect from the budget and how he would do things differently if he had the chance. Thanks very much, Mr. Nyhontso, for joining us. So, of course, the finance minister is in a very difficult terrain right now. Economic growth is not quite there. We've got these economic reforms that are brewing and cooking, and of course the results of which we may not see overnight. At the same time, the Treasury is looking to raise some 5 billion rand for this next coming fiscal year. Very difficult challenges indeed. Your thoughts?
We are, in fact, we're not expecting anything from the finance minister, because we've been saying that the finance minister, in fact, the government has been mortgaging our country to the IMF. We've been lending some money from IMF, but the problem is that there is no accountability. Where is the 500 billion that last time we were told it was going to be injected into the economy? So we are really expecting nothing from the finance minister. And we are expecting him to do budget cuts, but why cutting on education, which is service to Africa? And why the finance minister would keep on pumping money into the SAA? Who is benefiting out of SAA? So we are worried. We also want him to tell us about these COVID vaccines. Which companies own these vaccines? Is there any black-owned company that is benefiting out of these vaccines? We are worried with how the minister is conducting himself and how the economy of this country is so biased towards white people. That's the problem.
I think when it comes to the vaccines, presumably it's going to be quite difficult for there to be any black-owned businesses involved therein, because a lot of the vaccines that we're getting, all of the vaccines that we're getting effectively are coming from overseas. And one of the things that has been lamented even by our senior scientists is that we didn't contemplate and consider creating productive capacity in South Africa when we could have, given that we've got great expertise, scientific expertise in the country.
And why are we not having our own vaccines? Well, remember when the COVID-19 came, the Minister of Health was here and he told us that South Africa was ready for COVID. So if South Africa was ready for COVID, that means scientists were ready to develop our own vaccines. Why would all vaccines come from overseas? And that's a big question. The president in the State of the Nation told us that we have great scientists. If we have great scientists, why are we not having our own vaccines? There's a problem.
In the short term, what do we do about the social suffering that we're seeing, the higher unemployment, the fact that people have now got used to these additional grants, and that if that rug is pulled away from them, it's only going to lead to more suffering?
And I don't think it is going to be pulled away from them, because that is how the ruling party is benefiting, by creating this dependency syndrome and pump money into the so-called grants to our people instead of developing skills, instead of investing on education so that people can have their own employment, can create their own employment. We must be taught how to fish, not how to eat fish. So that's the problem with the ruling party, and they are benefiting out of this thing. They must develop the skills.
You're making fundamental points there. Thank you so much, sir, for your time.
Thank you very much.
Mzwanele Nyhontso, he's from the PAC. We're going to hand over back to you, Desiree.
Thank you so much, Nompu Siziba. Now to Mpumalanga.